we started with sort of asking the question, how can we do this incrementally? And the first place we sort of used it was we're using these NoSQL stores in some places. And we were like, all right, let's try to use schema and just the general effect dependency injection to try to more strongly type some of these NoSQL stores we're using and see if we can like parse out our data. We were using like a lot of places just, let's get this basically document object and like just write as thing at the end of it. And then it's like that thing. And we run into tons of issues doing that with that's that happy path coding. So let's schema parse all of these. Let's like be sure we have the things we say we have. And that sort of led us to starting to wrap our like database drivers and our like various domain objects in schemas and contexts. And then we're like, you know what? Let's just like forget that. Like forget trying to like rewrite old stuff. Let's just come up with our new stack and write it. And so we actually completely wrote a new server. It's funny the way it worked because the other sort of DX improvement we were looking to get was we wanted to write less hooks on the front end. We wanted open API specs so that we could just generate all of our front end code. So we're looking at different ways to do that. We eventually found, the effect platform thing. We're like, all right, let's take our existing API and write the HTTP group endpoints that match like what our API is. And then we can generate our hooks from that. And then we go deeper and we realize, oh, we don't need to generate anything. Effect can just like infer the entire HTTP client. So we'll do that. And then we're like, you know what? Why would we rewrite the old things when we already have the hooks for them? Like, let's just actually implement our new API endpoints through the effect platform. And then, so we kind of incrementally, after implementing one thing in each place, we were like, you know what? Like, let's just write the whole thing end to end in effect and like start pulling in like entire flows from the legacy code into our like sort of new stack. And that's sort of how we've been going about it. We use RPC to sort of interface from our old backend to our effect backend. And that's sort of the bridge where we need to like make a call for a new service or a new context. It is like somewhat of a friction point to add random effects in non-effect code because you do like the run sync, you have to add all the dependencies basically right there. And then you have to handle all the errors before you're back in like the world where you don't know anything. It's a bit more verbose, but I actually somewhat prefer it because as we sort of adopt more and more, the sort of scope of that initial run sync just grows and grows. And then it's like, okay, now we just have everything's effect. So that's sort of how it's been going. I know that was kind of convoluted, but hopefully answers the sort of adoption path for us.